Howdy, Broncos country. Mace here with three big things from Broncos training camp as they got back to work on Tuesday. Number one, a bounce back day for the defense. Of course, we know what happened in the San Francisco Bay Area last weekend. The first team D gave up the touchdown in the preseason game and struggled in the back half of practice in the joint practice last Thursday. Well, a good day today. They got a stop in the move the ball period against the first team offense, intercepting Bo Nix at the end of practice. Jaquan McMillan picking off Nix on a pass intended for Michael Bandy. Earlier in the practice, Jonathon Cooper, a couple of nice stops against the run in one team period, a pressure against Bo Nix that forced an incompletion. So nice work. Also got a good period in the red zone, shutting down the first team offense. So on the one hand, you'd say, okay, maybe some stuff for the first team offense to work on. But on the other hand, good work for the defense, also doing it without Nik Bonitto, who was sidelined today with a foot injury. He's expected back on Wednesday as the Broncos go into full pads. So without Nik Bonitto, still good work for the defense, and that's a pretty good sign. Big thing number two, Sean Payton's 14 things that he's ticked off about from Saturday. Of course, he used a stronger word than that. Well, he talked about it again today. It's up to 17 things. Here's what he had to say.
There are a lot of different things, and none of which I'm going to go through now. You know, when you take your first road trip and you're seeing it through my eyes, there's certain notes you make, and then it could be sidelines, it could be hotel, it could be 2 a.m. There's a festival outside the hotel, it could be the travel, it could be a number of things that you want to clean up, but I'm not going to go through all 14 of them. There's probably 17 by the time I got home, and so all of which can be cleaned up and easily corrected. And they weren't necessarily game-related, if that makes any sense. It's just when you do that and you hadn't done it in a while, and you're doing it with a new group of people, a lot of interns, a lot of, you can't assume anything.
NFL head coaches, they're detail-oriented creatures, believe me, from seeing Mike Shanahan work up close back in the day. I know they're persnickety about these things, but details, the accumulation of them, it's where the difference can be made. It's where you can win games. They didn't become successful by not obsessing over the details. So that's what they're going to focus on. And hey, it's preseason for everybody, not just players and coaches. And finally, big thing number three, A.T. Perry, a forgotten name in the receiver mix, was back out there doing individual work as he comes off the physically unable to perform list. It's the first time he's practiced since last January when he was still on the practice squad.
He's getting close. He's smart. Today he was cleared for individual. And, again, we're not going to put a player out there until they're 100% ready. And so there's kind of an on-ramp for someone like him who's missed quite a bit of practice.
As A.T. Perry mentioned to Cecil Lammey and myself back in January, when he was on the practice squad, he even saw some first-team reps in practice, so he's worked with Bo Nix. So there's something there, of course. He had a promising rookie season with New Orleans back in 2023. He knows Sean Payton's offense, not just from his time on the practice squad last year, but he worked in it with Pete Carmichael in 2023. Carmichael, of course, is now on the Broncos staff, having come here last year, so he's well-versed in the scheme, but he's got a lot of catch-up work to do, and he's in a very deep and talented receiver room, so it might be tough for him given all that the Broncos have in that room, but he's back on the practice field, and we'll see where he can go as he tries to get a foothold and play some serious catch-up in a very deep wide receiver room. Also notable today, Jeremy Crawshaw in the punting periods did some nice work in the placement period, had some missiles, but also a couple that were mishit. Again, the consistency thing. Jeremy Crawshaw, he's got the talent, and Sean Payton was even talking today about how he had a conversation with his old punter in New Orleans, Thomas Morstead, about how Crawshaw's got some attributes that impress even a longtime NFL punter like Morstead, but the consistency, Got to have that come into form. Give him time. Certainly has got the attributes, but we've got to see it when the lights come on. Hopefully for Crawshaw and the Broncos, we'll see a little bit of that on Saturday night. Before Saturday, of course, it's the joint practice with the Arizona Cardinals on Thursday, and what is expected to be a full pad practice on Wednesday leading into that joint practice. Cecil Lammy and I will have you covered on Orange and Blue today. We'll talk about it all at 5 p.m. weekdays on the Denver Sports social channels and, of course, on the YouTube channel. Until next time, take care. Thanks for watching.